Let's take one more quick look up here. See that top is supported by that bracket right in the center, and then over on this side I've got it attached and supported off of this 2x6. I got that pushed up all the way. So see, when I put that piece in there, if I screw it up to the top, that should hold it temporarily until I come down further. See, that's not going to sag, because that's not going to sag over there. If anything, it could push down on this side ever so slightly, but I had to wedge that up there to get it up there. And I went ahead and put that caulking. See? Just where those rips were, so that if the water does go to there, then it will go to the outside, like where we want it, okay? Between the paper and that other OSB paneling, plywood. So I've got the paper folded over that way, and it's also going to fold over this way, you know, from there to from the inside corner to the left. And so it's going to be watertight, I believe, when I get done. Okay, I guess I'm ready to put this piece up, and I'm hoping it's going to fit up in there. It's going to be tricky because I've got to wedge it straight up in here at an angle, and then get it up in there and move out of the way and everything else. And so I set everything up in here, take my nail bag off and all that. Okay, here I go. I screwed that one on there, and then when I raise it up, I'll put screws up in there, and I put this one just sideways so I could hold on to it and lift it up all the way, because there's no way for me to get it once I'm up in there. Different things you got to think of. And you know, this track, like I say, comes in handy. Oh, it's just about getting overcast, and I don't know if it's going to start raining or not. I've got to clean up for the day, but check this out. Look at this. You like it? Unbelievable, huh? I even wrapped this with paper behind there, and then I'm going to put the another 2x6 on top of that. And I'll probably put some brackets along the side of that too, because I'm not going to put anything right there. Well, another 2x6 is going to go. Well, you'll see. Tomorrow I've got to put 2x6s up there, two flat ones all the way around that top twice. That's what they had before, and that's what I'm going to put up there and make it nice and sturdy up there. And then I'll be able to get back up in there and put 2x6s all the way up there. 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 on down here, just like it was before. I got up there and I was just getting ready to put this back piece on. I thought, oh shoot, I almost forgot to drill the holes out. So I drilled the holes out for the bolts on both sides, and it went through okay. And what I'm going to do is I'll run the new bolts, and here's the where are the old bolts? Here's the old bolts. See how rusty they are. And so I got the same length bolts like that, but I think those only stick in a little bit beyond the 1/2-inch OSB plywood. So I got the next size up. I got 2-inch or 2.5-inch, and so I can put it in and then let it stick out beyond the plywood on the inside. And then when I put my 2x6 up in there, it's going to hit the end 2x6. I can put the end 2x6 up there, let these stick out about yay far, you know, a 1/4 inch or so, and then I'll hit on it with the hammer, and that'll give me the point. And then I'll take it back down, and I'll drill holes, you know, starter pilot holes, and then I'll ram these in, and these will go into the 2x6 as well. I was thinking about that, and I wasn't quite sure how I was going to do that, but that top one, I don't know if I'll be able to get a long one in there because of the angle. I had a heck of a time getting the old one out, and I had to push it off to the side a little bit, so that top one may end up just being 2 inch, but that's okay. This is supporting, and it's going up at an angle. There's nowhere it can go. But the other ones, I think I'm just going to do a little bit extra and go beyond and run pilot's holes in the 2x6s. Man, that was tricky. Wasn't sure how I was going to get all that up there. This piece I put one screw in there. It's going into my stair tread, and then I got the brackets up there, and that's holding. And then this piece here, I notched it and came around on the outside, and I was able to catch a couple screws. I just got these screws in here for the time being. This paper I'm going to have to end up cutting out, you know, from this point down. I don't necessarily have to put paper later on, but I think I'm going to put some underneath this plywood from here, this point on down, just because I can get to it. And that'll be kind of tricky too, but hey, so far so good. I'm pretty proud of myself getting this in there, because I wanted to make this nice and sturdy again. And once I put the 2x6s in there and screw them down and then put some blocks up there and all that kind of stuff, this thing is going to be good to go. And that's what I'm going to work on tomorrow. Well, that's all I got for this time, but I'll be back with more videos. Oh, I'm glad today's over. And one last thing, when I started cutting my plywood, I really had to think about how I was going to cut it, because I've got less than 6 feet left from the bottom up all the way around. Okay, and then it's 6 feet from the bottom up to there, a little less than 6 feet. And so I know those are going to be long strips that I'm going to have to rip out of my plywood. But my plywood was 8 foot, and when I did the column, when I did underneath this section of column, I cut the plywood the different direction because it ran 4 feet. So the 4x8 sheet coming out this way, I cut off 18 inches at the top and took that off, and that was 4 feet long, and that fit up in there. And then I had to take my other sheet and do that because I didn't want to cut off the top again, or else I would have been less than 6 feet for the long strips. So now I've got strips. My 4x8 sheet is now 4 foot by a little bit over 6 feet, and then I'm just going to cut strips, boom, 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 and I've got a long strip here that I cut out of that other piece, and so I'm going to have some left over, but I wanted to get all of it without having to cut too many horizontal seams. Okay, so when you get your material, you don't want to start cutting willy-nilly and figuring out, oh, that's all right, oh, oops, and then all of a sudden you've got extra joints, because over here I wanted vertical pieces at least from the bottom up to here, all the way down, because that's going to give it a little bit more strength than piecemealing, you know, a piece 4 feet down and then another strip 2 foot by 18 inches or something like that. So keep that in mind when you get your material. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I got this great big feeling. Everything's going my way. Well, it's day I don't know what. And I've got to finish this column right here. I've got the plywood up inside it. And now I've got to wrap it with 2x6s up inside it and finish my plywood down here on the sides, put the 2x6s all the way up in there. Yes, it's going to be quite the day. So if you want to see how I'm going to do that, stick around.